if you want to deal with the whole race card, this is what makes them stupid. The first two makes them ignorant. The third one is what makes them stupid. Why? They claim to be the original Jews, because the original Jews, according to morons, were black. Now, all you need to do is read the Torah to know there could never be a possibility that the original Jews were black. Why? Where did the Jews start from? They're going to tell you all types of mumbo-jumbos depending on who the yeller is. But the truth is, where did Am Yisrael start from? Avraham Avinu. So where do we learn about Avraham for the first time? Where? They're going to tell you, oh, we learn about him in Parashat Lech Lecha. No, it's not Lech Lecha, it's Lech Lecha, and it's not that. We learned the first time about Avraham at the end of Parashat Noach. Noach, ish tzaddik tamim bedorotav. Noach, that's the parasha. At the end of Parashat Noach, we learn about the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, actually one of the people that was part of the Tower of Babel, one of the wicked people, was Avraham's father, Terach. Okay? Now, this is where everything was. Babel had a place in it called Ur Kasdim. That's where Avraham was thrown into the fire by Nimrod. Where is Babel? That's Babylon. That's Iraq. Iraq, if you want to see it in English. It's, go find me one African American black guy in Iraq. Find one. You're not going to find. Now, I love black people. I have plenty of black students and black friends. But don't tell me that the color of your skin means that you're righteous or you're wicked, and even make it to seem that if I'm not the same color as you, therefore I'm not good. This is moronic. Even more so when your whole testament is literally something you can collapse in a matter of a few minutes because you don't even know your own history. You don't even know your own history. You're going to tell me they came from black people? Where did Avraham come from? He came from Iraq, eating madbucha, eating falafel, eating shawarma, not eating the food that you like. He's not eating hot wings. He's eating falafel. He's eating shawarma. This is where Avraham came from. People look like they know a lot, but in reality they don't know. They just know a few things, and they make enough of a stink about them that it makes it seem as if they know more than everybody else. Similar to those Reshaim, those Israelites, these idiots, Goyim, that they're not idiots because they're Goyim, because there are many smart Goyim, but they happen to be one of the idiots among the nations instead of the righteous among the nations. Now these idiots have been making a bigger stink lately. I had a few people send me messages about them and say, oh, this is concerning anti-Semitism. Kanye West is talking about the Israelites. Now I know these morons from years ago. I remember when I lived in New York, you always had one of these Amaleks in the middle of the street wearing something that he bought from a costume store, and he's yelling and screaming the New Testament, but he's pretending as if he's reading the 10 Commandments from Mount Sinai, and he's reading it in English because none of them know Hebrew. And, yelling at everybody that they're the righteous, they're the original Jews, they're the ones, and the Jews of today are fakers, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, at that time that I saw them initially, I didn't know anything about Judaism. So there's not much to argue here. I just know they're idiots because just the way they behave. Today, Baruch Hashem, after Baruch Hashem, I've had enough time to learn enough that they're morons. Why are they morons? Because their entire premise of everything in regards to being an Israelite and the original Hebrews and they're black and all this racism, all of that can be crushed in literally just a few sentences. There's no need for a debate. I will never have a debate with one of these people because, again, they're violent people, both verbally and otherwise, and even more so, they're simply mental midgets because they don't even know what they don't know. First and foremost, your religion of Christianity, and it is your religion because you're reading the New Testament. Anyone that reads and follows the New Testament is a Christian. There's no question about that. God did not give the New Testament to Am Yisrael at Mount Sinai. New Testament did not exist. Okay, so anyone that reads New Testament, you are a Christian. Rule number one. Number two, you are reading, let's say you say, no, let's say if I take aside and I don't read the Jesus part, the Matthew and the Luke and the Stephen and the Joes, whatever it is in there, all these idol worshippers, let's say I discount them, I'm reading from the Old Testament, like they pretend like they do. I'm reading from the Old Testament, the real Word of God. Okay, buddy, let's see you read. Read it to me. Read me the first verse. In the beginning, hold on a second. I said read it in the beginning. Oh, no. Read it. In the beginning. I'm reading in the beginning. It's not in the beginning. Where does it say in the beginning? Well, it says right there. No, you're reading the New Testament in English. It says Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. It's in Hebrew. It's not in English. Your translation is a manipulation. Don't tell me that you that came 1,500 years after Am Yisrael received the Torah, you're going to come to my house, to my religion, to my Torah, and tell me what it says when you don't even know the language, for heaven's sake. So that's argument number two, the end. Now, of course, if you want to deal with the whole race card, this is what makes them stupid. The first two makes them ignorant. The third one is what makes them stupid. Why? They claim to be the original Jews because the original Jews, according to morons, were black. Now, all you need to do is read the Torah to know there could never be a possibility that the original Jews were black. Why? Where did the Jews start from? They're going to tell you all types of mumbo-jumbos depending on who the yeller is. But the truth is, where did Am Yisrael start from? Avraham Avinu. So where do we learn about Avraham for the first time? Where? They're going to tell you, we learn about him in Parashat Lech Lecha. No, it's not Lech Lecha, it's Lech Lecha, and it's not that. We learned the first time about Avraham at the end of Parashat Noach. Noach, ish tzaddik tamim bedorotav. Noach, that's the parasha. At the end of Parashat Noach, we learn about the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, actually one of the people that was part of the Tower of Babel, one of the wicked people, was Avraham's father, Terach. Okay? Now, this is where everything was. Babel had a place in it called Ur Kasdim. That's where Avraham was thrown into the fire by Nimrod. Where is Babel? That's Babylon. That's Iraq. Iraq, if you want to see it in English. It's, go find me one African American black guy in Iraq. Find one. You're not going to find. Now, I love black people. I have plenty of black students and black friends. But don't tell me that the color of your skin means that you're righteous or you're wicked, and even make it to seem that if I'm not the same color as you, therefore I'm not good. This is moronic. Even more so when your whole testament is literally something you can collapse in a matter of a few minutes because you don't even know your own history. You don't even know your own history. You're going to tell me they came from black people? Where did Avraham come from? He came from Iraq, eating madbucha, eating falafel, eating shawarma, not eating the food that you like. He's not eating hot wings. He's eating falafel. He's eating shawarma. This is where Avraham came from. And after that, Avraham, where does it say this? It says it in the Tower of Babel, but even more it says it in the verses themselves, where it says, ויחי תרח 70 שנה ויולד את אברהם את נחור ואת הרן ואלה תולדות תרח. תרח הוליד את אברהם את נחור ואת הרן והרן הוליד את לוט וימת הרן על פני תרח אביו בארץ מולדתו באור כסדים. English. When Terach, this is, when Terach had lived 7 years, he begot Avram, Nachor, and Haran. Now these are the chronicles of Terach. Terach begot Avram, Nachor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. And Haran died in the lifetime of Terach, his father, in his native land, in Ur Kasdim. Where's Ur Kasdim? Go look on Wikipedia. It's in Iraq. Iraq. Saddam Hussein, former leader. That's where Iraq is. Now, if you want to know further, where did they go after? ויקח תרח את אברהם בנו ואת לוט בן הרן בן בנו ואת שרי כלתו אשת אברהם בנו ויצאו איתם מאור כשדים ללכת ארצה כנען ויבואו עד חרן וישבו שם. Where's Haran? Terach took his son Avram and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, that ends up being Sarah later on, the wife of Avram, his son. They departed with them from Ur Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. They arrived in Haran and they settled there. Where's Haran? Where is that? Ethiopia? Where is that? Jamaica? Where is that? Nigeria? Where is it? Turkey. Turkey. You know Turkey? Thanksgiving Turkey? There's a country called Turkey before there was Thanksgiving Turkey. That's where Haran is. Go find me a black person that lives in Turkey. He was born there and is from the time of Avraham Avinu. So, you see, Rabotai, those idiots, and I emphasize, idiots, are people that are a danger to society. Why? Not because of their demeanor and their gigantic size and their weird clothes, but rather because when they speak in such a demeanor, with such oomph behind their voice and command of their beliefs, that it actually sounds like what they're saying is true. So people follow them into Gehenom. And guess what? They're also going to go to Gehenom. Who's not going to go to Gehenom? Someone that studies and doesn't make things up based on their preferences of their skin color and their shoe size and their hair preference and even what gel they put in their hair. You want to be righteous? Follow the way of God, of Israel. Not the God of the Israelites and the God of the Christians and the Messianics and all these Baba Meisters that are out there. Follow the God of Israel. Who's the God of Israel? 5 books of Moses. Read it with commentary by Rashi. You'll understand a little bit more. After that, we can talk further because there's a whole lot more to the Torah than what you're seeing. But first thing you have to do, abandon those false beliefs and that wicked behavior that's abusing society and the public at large. And even more so, stop claiming to know more than the Jews who received the Torah at Mount Sinai and are observant to that Torah till this day. Stop pretending you know more than us when you don't even know our language and neither do you even know our God. You know something you created and you are acting simply like a fool that's going to end where foolish people are, like Ephron. So this, Rabotai, is something that is a cancer in society today because there are speakers that know how to speak. Sometimes they'll be in the middle of a street. Sometimes they'll be in a church with 250,000 people. Sometimes they'll be in a stage at a TED Talk and they speak in a certain demeanor, certain amount of confidence, certain amount of information, certain amount of cockiness that is impressive upon the weak, the ignorant. And what ends up happening is that they take advantage of those little innocent sheep. Now, why are the innocent sheep allowed to be taken? Why does God allow it? Who told you to be a sheep? You could have been the shepherd if you learned Torah. Now, will you be able to learn the entire Torah? No. Why? Torah is wider than the ocean. But you could certainly learn a lot of Torah. And at the very least, not be a sheep.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Furaha. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you so much for choosing to be here today. Now guys, on today's video we're talking about this man that has decided to come out and I think sometimes people don't exactly mean what they are saying. Sometimes people decide that they need this kind of attention and they do not know where to get their attention from, so they choose black people. And it has become a trend that anyone that feels they need people to discuss them, they need people to talk about them for a bit, they pick on black people, and they know that that is definitely somewhere to touch and that people are going to react. Now, this guy decides that he's going to say everything that is said about black people, and you have watched the video. I know it must have been uncomfortable for quite some bit. And for him, I think sometimes we give people the grace of knowing that that is really their thought process and that is what they think. But I do not think it's fair enough when someone decides that they're going to, like, try to hurt a whole community of people just because they want their own satisfaction. And especially when they pick on people, are people that have gone through way so much. Now, one thing that hurts me every single day when I'm talking about black people is the fact that I have it in my mind constantly that these people have gone through one, two, three things. Yeah, we're talking about slavery, we're talking about racism, and all these things. We are not even like over it. It would be different if we're talking about a situation where these things happened, but they are now long gone, and people have even started to forget about them, or that the generation that is here presently does not even recall what that was. It would be different then. But we're talking about people that are actively going through the same kind of life. Slavery did not even end. Yeah, I am a firm believer that slavery is still on, that these people are still controlling black people the way they wish, because they made a system that is making that possible for them. Now, the slavery that was active and whatever was happening during that time, chaining people and killing them and eating them, that is a little bit like gone-ish. But we have this new slavery that, the system itself is made to control black people and to make sure that they do what is okay for the white man and what the white man desires of black people to do. Now, for that reason, I say and think that slavery did not end. Yeah, and then we're talking about racism. These people have gone through a lot of things for them to even be able to exist on these channels to talk about their feelings and what they're going through, and just even express themselves simply. These people are the strongest people. I look at them and think these have to be the strongest people that have existed on the face of the earth, because all those things, all the traumas, all the things that you go through on a daily, yeah. A black person does not live like the rest of us, yeah. You do not have the 100% assurance that when you get out of your house, you'll go about your businesses in whatever place you're going to, and you will come back to your house happy and like okay. Yeah, for black people, they have, every single day they have to think about it. They leave their houses thinking, something could go wrong. Someone can look at me and think I'm a thief. Someone can look at me and think that I am about to drag them. Someone can look at me and think I am about to be violent to them when I'm just expressing myself. And you see, they are made to feel as if they cannot live to their full, they cannot express themselves fully. They cannot just exist as the rest of us do, because for them it comes with a lot of judgment. Everyone that is looking at them is thinking various things. Some are thinking these are violent people, these are crazy people, these are loud people. They're not, if a black person is quiet, the white man wants to know why. When a black person is speaking, they want to know what you're saying. And when a black person is happy or, just being overjoyed, up and about, the white man wants to know why and how. Yeah. So that tells you that black people do not really have the freedom, the kind of freedom that the rest of us have, or at least most of us, that they can just live and express themselves in ways that make them happy. to live fully as a human being. They do not function like that. Now, these are not the people that you want to attack. Yeah, I know you can be heartless. I know that you can be a bad decision maker, but choosing and picking on people that are already going through a lot like that, you must be crazy. I just lack the words to refer to such a person, but to me that's utter bullshit. Because why would you do that? You have to be a very weak person for you to come at people that are already going through things that they do not deserve and that they are unable to take themselves out of. Yeah, because we are talking about a whole system that is made to make sure that they remain in the same position through and through. And then you, with all the privileges that you have from wherever country you come from, you decide that you're going to speak and just say crazy things that are going to annoy these people. I find such a person very weak. I find them very intimidated by the mere fact that black people exist. They're not happy about black people existing. And so instead of just going about their days, they decide they're going to attack black people, maybe for attention, maybe for they have their low self-esteem or something. I don't know. But to me, that is really crazy for someone to say. Now, if you think that the white people are better than black people in whatever way and whatever way that you understand it yourself, that is on you. You're allowed to think whatever you want to think, but don't come online with that kind of bullshit. And you want people to listen to you, you want people to respect you after that, you want people to look at you and think this is an adult and they deserve respect. Sometimes maturity does not come with age, and I am a firm believer of that. So I am really, really upset about that guy. And I'm not saying that people are not allowed to think however they want to. You can, and you're allowed to think in whatever way that you want to think. But just make sure that whatever you utter, whatever you do, is not hurting the other person. It's not hurting these people that are watching me over here. It is not hurting a neighbor somewhere. It's not hurting anyone. Make sure that if it is a thought and you think it's a stupid or just some weird shit going on with you, make sure that you keep it in yourself. Don't air it out. Don't hurt other people while trying to find the attention that you like. Now, he's talking about black people not knowing where they came from. Like, bro, that is so, so disgusting of him. And black people know who they are, they know where they came from, and they know their history well enough. And if he thinks that he actually knows black history more than black people know themselves, he must be a fool. Because, I mean, these are people that have lived their life. They were there from the way, way, way long ago. They have a history that is direct, unlike the rest of us who get to hear about it and who get to read it in books. They have their history passed down as stories. Yeah, their ancestors have told them these things. They have their old people that tell them whatever was happening and the reality of things. These things, the same way that your grandparents tell you stories about your community and the things that used to happen when and before you were born. Same thing. These people, they have their history as stories and they know a lot about themselves. And when they talk about being there before Christopher Columbus, they know what they're saying and they know why they're saying that. Now, for you to come out here and talk carelessly like that, I mean, you should be very ashamed of yourself. And no offense, but mind what you say to other people. Mind what you say in front of a camera, because we are not living in a world where you're making that video for your family and few friends. These videos will get to those people that you're talking about, and it will hurt them because of your lack of, your judgment is not okay. Yeah, so yeah, guys, let me know what you think about what this man said. Do you agree to what he said? What do you think about him? Because at this point I don't even know what to say about him. But let me know what you think about whatever he said in the video, whatever the rest of the people had to say and input. And if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Furaha, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly consider doing that right now. And if you've been watching my videos to this point and you have not subscribed to my channel, please, I'm kindly requesting you to subscribe to my channel, help this channel to grow and reach as many people as possible. You know, when you subscribe, like, leave a comment, share, you help the video and the channel to grow and reach as many people as possible, so that we have a good interaction, so that we have a lot of people over here. If we are learning something, then we are learning with a whole lot of people, which will become more effective if we are ever to administer anything that we are discussing. Yeah. And so, guys, I will see you. I also hope that you're keeping safe from wherever you're watching me from. If you're going through things, just be hopeful, pray about it. And the God that has brought you this far has not brought you this far to leave you. So I want you to be hopeful about it. The situation will be different, things will be okay, things will fall in place for you, whatever it is. I know. So yeah, I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.